I think I've just figured out that Superman is actually a tour guide for Generation Z, but with a flying cape. And no, this isn't a Tarantino movie. But if it were, maybe he'd show up sipping kryptonite milkshakes with Robin. And you know what else? The kid version of Superman, or as I like to call him, Super Mendo, seems to be here to teach us that DC doesn't have to be as dark as your room at 2 a.m. when you're wondering if life is a simulation. Back in the day, comics were meant to be silly. Yes, I know, it's as shocking as discovering that your fridge isn't a portal to Narnia. Superman doesn't need a narrative hedge trimmer like Nolan's movies, okay? He's not here to solve problems with ultra-tech armor Tony Stark would secretly envy. He's from a time when logic was as speculative as string theory, but without the empirical math that makes you cry in the shower. Have you noticed that Batman and Superman share more screen time with colorful aliens and cartoonish villains than on real-life Tinder? And really, Batman is like the wizard Gandalf. He goes from realistic noir to dark ninja, without batting an eyelash. Which leads us to ask, what's sillier, a Batman in armor or one with a pet dinosaur called Batsaurus? Yes, he exists. And no, he's not a Pokemon. The new era of DC seems to be trying to remember that comics were made to be read while you eat cereal out of superhero-themed bowls. It seems Hollywood forgot that behind the capes and swords, there are plot twists worthy of Star Wars. And no, I don't need a scientific explanation for everything, like the Asgardian Einstein-Rosen bridge being technically a startup of interdimensional magic. Just imagine if Harry Potter needed a quantum physics lecture every time he stepped out from under his invisibility cloak. Oh, it's a fold in the space-time continuum consolidated in tachyon particles. No, it's just magic, okay? DC is that show of lights and colors that reminds us of the golden days. We don't need Jungian psychology or a Freudian analysis to understand that an alien in tights saves the day, because that's what he does. Superman might be silly, but that doesn't mean he's poorly written. He's the archetypal fantasy, and if he needs to wear his underwear over his pants, so be it. We've reached a point where James Gunn might just bring back the underwear over the pants as a retro symbol of what truly matters, telling stories that make us believe we can fly, even if it's with the help of a CGI superhero. The current DC narrative under Gunn's baton is like a remix of classic animations that only a binary code and D&D enthusiast would understand. Sure, maybe DC is finally embracing its true nature, a universe where the only rule is that there are no rules. Or kind of, but they're full of holes like Swiss cheese at a mutant rat convention. And folks, let's hope the generation growing up now with Kid Superman not only sees the capes, but understands the moral dilemmas simple enough to be grasped in a Twitter paragraph. DC has to have room for as many narratives as a 2 terabyte hard drive can support. And who knows, one day Darkseid might be back on Jimmy Olsen, as the greatest villain no one saw coming. If you survived the madness of this script, congratulations. You're officially a pop culture ninja with mental endurance skills worthy of a Jedi. Leave a comment saying what superpower your underwear over your pants would give you, and maybe you'll win a free pass to the next meme collider. And as Morpheus's oracle would say, the choice is yours, but the algorithm already knows you're going to comment. Until next time, nerds.